Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully you've been having a wonderful week. We got a few things to talk about today. It'll be TCG player Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid announced officially in English, wink wink. And next we have Toy Story and Idolmasters coming out for JP today. We're going to just take a quick look at the actual prices. First up, TCG Player. They're having the bonus bucks promo starting at 9 a.m. You will be getting 8% bonus bucks back for sealed product and supplies. I don't know why that sounded really hard for me to say, but if you need any sort of sealed and supplies, I do have a TCG Player link below if you don't mind clicking that. If you click that, make any purchase, money goes back to me. I take that money, buy gift cards, and give it back to you in the form of a giveaway. I don't keep any of that money for myself. Again, that's something I just do for the viewers of this channel, and I appreciate all of you for doing that. So Camelot just came out, and if you want to take a look at Camelot, $62.99 for a booster box. Kind of nutty, but something I fully expected. The set wasn't the greatest. You're just chasing serial numbers, not super strong versus this meta anyways. We have also Hololive, and Hololive's been going down in price as finally people are releasing their supplies. People are searching their boxes for SPs and putting up dead stock. So go here and pick it up. I know that sounded really bad for me to say that, but it is. So this morning I went and checked out some of the people selling these things. I was like, why are this dropping in price? And I'm not saying any names about anybody that I looked up. There is nobody that I'm pointing out. I will say, if you are going to buy on TCG Player sealed up Hololive, you need to 100% go on before you click and buy and purchase, like actually submit that order. You need to click on the name of that seller and you need to check out what they're selling, because there's been some that have triple rares for the trial decks, SPs for the trial decks, and now they're selling it off. Not all the sellers are doing that. I took a look at some. Not all of them are doing it, but some are definitely doing that, and you need to be careful before you buy, okay? More importantly, you guessed it, Tohru and the cast are swooping into Weiss Schwarz. So we have our official announcement for the English side. Makes you wonder, again, why we don't have an actual conference. Again, it's probably going to be in July, but they're announcing all this stuff now because of the whole pre-ordering. You need the pre-order. That's what they're saying. You need to pre-order this stuff. There is a big question. Is this going to be the same as it was in Japan? Is it going to be censored? And we're going to take a look at that, right? So first up, what I did here, this is the English trial deck, and I wanted to take a look at what's inside of the trial deck. As you can see, we have 16 triple rares, 2 OFRs, and 1 SP. This is very important, this SP. It's either a mistake. I'm going to hit refresh. Maybe they fixed it. Nope, it still says SP. When you looked at the Japan sign, the Japan release, you do have the same amount of triple rares, 16. You do have 2 OFRs, and you have 1 SSP. So that is the difference there. Is this a mistake? I think it is. I hope it is, actually. What you have here, the sign card is of the original creator, the author, right here, who is going to be signing this. This says the same exact thing, that it's going to be the original author actually doing the signature for the trial deck. Okay, so I just imagine they dropped off an S when they originally created this, but we'll see, right? Definitely people have been asking on Twitter about the censorship, if the SP or the SSP is a mistake. So be on the lookout for that. That's all we know. When you look at the actual booster box, the main thing to look for here is, because we don't have specs like that about the SSPs or MDRs or anything like that, all we have is right now 61 parallels, right? So, and then you also have this hot stamp sign card by the author. Same thing with the booster box here. We have 61 parallels. The stamp is by the original author. That's all we get. I mean, there are different values here for SSP, OFR, MDRs. We don't have those numbers in English, so you can't compare. You also will get the exclusive Stitch playmat in every carton, or what we call case, whatever you want to say. So we will have that. We won't get those cool going first, going second cards, but I mean, if you haven't seen it, going first, going second, this is Nova TCG. I am using their image. This is inside of Japanese boxes. We don't normally get them. We get playmats normally instead. Hololive didn't have any playmats, so that's why I say normally. Okay, the big thing with this trial deck, why this is so important to look at now is, oh yeah, by the way, I should have said this a minute ago, but I'm going to say it right now because this isn't the worst one. If pictures of anime girls in scantily clad clothing or missing some clothing is offensive to you, please stop watching at this point. This one's not too bad, I think. I showed my wife, she said no. As in, maybe you don't show this, but I've shown this on a prior video and people weren't upset. So if this bothers you at all, please stop watching this video at this point. So this is a card from the trial deck. This is the big money card from the trial deck. As you can see on Nova TCG on the Japan side, you can see this sold at $997.99 out of stock. Gone at that price. The trial decks. These things are going for a case roughly, let's say $800. So as a person, if you want this card, you need to pre-order the case. There is never a guarantee of getting this card in that actual case. I say that because people that opened Hololive, there should have been 2 SPs in there. Some people got 1. And that was more than likely what we all believe to be a quality assurance issue. And so I would imagine there should be 1 in every case of this. And I say it this way because if it doesn't, I don't want you yelling at me. But if you think about it, a case roughly $800, this thing sold for $1,000. You might want to pick up the trial deck so that a trial deck case, if you want to guarantee yourself this and not have to pay $200 extra. Will this happen the same as Mushoku Tensei? I don't know, because if people all start pre-ordering cases of this stuff, trying to guarantee themselves one of these happening, the supply is going to be a lot, and at the same time, the people that really wanted it would have already gotten it if they wanted. If they're going to pay $1,000 for this card right here, when they could just buy it for $800 during pre-order time, you're going to do it. That only makes sense. You get 48 trial decks, you get whatever OFRs and triple rares are in there, you know, luckily that you pick up, and then you also get this card, and then you can do something with the 48 trial decks. Maybe give it away to people. Maybe you sell them for like $5 on eBay to get some money back. I don't know, but you see the point here. Don't let this happen to you again with Mushoku Tensei. If you wanted this card and you couldn't afford it, and you really want this card, and you have 800 bucks, maybe you give it a shot. All right. Again, this card got all the way up to, on TCG Player anyways, $1939.47. Currently on Facebook, there was one on sale for $1,000. I don't know if it actually sold. On TCG Player, as you can see, at $1,400. So one of those ones where definitely now that you know this is happening, you may want to pre-order this. Again, there's no guarantees you're going to get it if there's a quality assurance issue, but this is your chance of picking this card up for not, I say, reseller prices. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do now is take a look at cards. My wife was behind me as I was doing this, and she was wondering what the heck I was actually doing. What I wanted to see was the cards in JP for Dragon Maid. We know there's some of them are a little risque, and you're now wondering, are any of these cards going to be censored? That is the question. I mean, you could just wait for them to write back. I would imagine they're going to write back something like, Weiss Schwarz is going to write back, you know, like we're trying to finalize the details of all this stuff. We can't say. That's what they said about Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl and Bunny Girl Senpai. So you may have some time. So if you're going to pre-order, you may have to pre-order before actually getting your actual notice. Because, again, if you want to pre-order and get this card, you might want to do that. Anyways, so I'm going to show you some examples of cards from English that were censored or not censored, and you can determine if these are not, because there's similarities. I don't know who makes this judgment call of saying this needs to be censored or this does not, because I feel like there's been some that like slipped through the cracks, or maybe they just didn't think it was, like they look similar, but one gets censored and one doesn't. I'm not really sure why, but that's what we have, right? So when I take a look at this one, I could definitely see this being censored in a way. Like this has a possibility when I take a look at the English versions. This one should be okay enough. This one should be alright. I mean, she's covered. Well, I mean, that shadow right there makes it look kind of interesting. I can't believe I'm doing this. We have a text box in the way, so I think that text box is pretty decent because you'll have let me just show you this one. You have Suguha here. You got a text box in front there blocking, so I don't think you need to censor that. Some of these were actually pre-censored, and I know, I mean, it's pre-censored by the artwork itself, right? We got this boiling water, and then you got steam coming up, so pre-censored. This one seems okay. I mean, she's fully clothed. I mean, she has her hand in places, but I mean, I don't know if you censor on a hand. And then Tohru here, just got some shredded clothing. That seems okay. Again, this is pre-censored. I mean, you could make an argument right here that Tohru, you can light beam across there, but then if you light beam, I guess you'd have to angle it down. You have to angle it down because if not, you're gonna mess up Kana over here. And then you have this one, right? Just a bikini shot. I asked my wife, she says she probably would light beam this sucker. I don't know, maybe it's because of the bigness of Tohru. So Suguha, again, going back here, no light beam, there is text box in front. Here is Yoshino, what is being light beamed, and if you've never seen this on the JP site, I'll show you. Again, if these photos kind of bother you, don't do it. Don't watch this next part. I think it's fine enough because I don't want to be banned on YouTube or get hit with some kind of community strike or whatever they do for this. But this one, she has her hands over her. Maybe it's because she looks young. Maybe that's what it is. But all you see is, I would say, cleavage there, and they still light beamed it going across. And that was my point going back here for Miss Quetzalcoatl, is that even though she has clothing going across there stripped away, I mean, even with that a hand here, maybe they're gonna still light beam. To Love Ru, some cards definitely needed to be light beamed, and you could see this one's light beam all over the place. So if you're in the light beams, check that out. What we have here is Darkness. As you can see, Darkness, she has her hands over her, so I kind of harken back to Yoshino here, but she has her arms. There's no light beams. I guess that was fine enough. Again, maybe it's the age of Yoshino. Maybe that's what they're thinking here, why that happened. So at the end of the day, moral of the story is Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid is coming out for English. The specs inside of the trial and booster box looks the same. The signature looks the same. The card art, we don't know what that's going to be like. It could be censored, could not be. We're waiting for confirmation on Weiss Schwarz to do that, and maybe you go out here and just keep hitting refresh. Maybe they'll say today, maybe they're just gonna say, sorry, we'll get back to you on it. And if you want to avoid a Roxy situation with this card, then more than likely you should be picking up a trial deck case, right? You can take your shots at some trial decks, but maybe you pick up the actual case if you want this card. Again, it could be censored, it could be not, we don't know yet. There's no guarantee you're gonna get it inside of a case, so don't come yelling at me if there's a quality assurance issue, but this is your best shot at picking this card up for a lower than reseller price if you want it. All right, moving on, Toy Story. Toy Story came out, Idolmasters came out, just a quick look at the prices. Overall, pretty expensive. If you add this all up together, again, this is UUT prices. Again, this is some of it's in yen, which you need to convert over. But in the end, if you bought a case of this, you would have ideally got it all back. Though you're probably not getting all the SPs inside of a case, so you're probably underwater, I would think, if you get this. But overall, I still like the cards. Some of these are pretty expensive. Look at the triple rare. Look at Forky over here, $29.80, $12.80 on Buzz. Overall, I think it's just going to be a fun set to actually have own in the future, and something I would love to pass along to a younger person or someone that actually loves Toy Story, which I do have people that do that, so I'm really excited. Overall, the TD prices aren't any huge ones. You do have Woody here, and under just the normal TD for 300 yen, and then you have your SRs and triple rares and your SPs. But more importantly, Idolmaster came out here. I said this is going to be quick, so Idolmaster, the cards look fantastic. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I Love the look of the cards. I wish I knew more about the anime. It's one of those ones I'm not going to front. I haven't watched this, but just as an enjoyer of actual cards and the way they look in anime, it looks beautiful. I mean, this is just amazing looking. Um, I can't imagine what they look like if you have all 5 of them together. I wish they would have been one of those ones you can connect together, but still close enough for me. They look really, really nice and super expensive. I clicked on this one earlier because I was just like, oh my god, this looks nice. Looks fantastic. Idolmaster, if you're a fan, I bet you're really excited, especially if you got any of these SECs I saw out there, unconfirmed, but 1 SEC 5 SPs per case. So good luck out there if you actually are opening a case or boxes of this stuff. Overall, it looks fantastic. Price is really expensive. There is a crap load of SPs. It's one of those ones that I blocked that out of my mind. I remember looking at it, but a ton of SPs, and some of them are fairly expensive. A lot of them look amazing, though. I know this is just sample shots from Yuyute. It does not do it justice to these actual cards. Looking here, I know you can go out to Weiss Schwarz. You can go on their Twitter and look at all the different cards that they had out there. But I mean, just look. I mean, that's fantastic. So anyway, lover of anime, love this set. Then you'll probably really enjoy this. So triple rares overall, this is really expensive. It's got to be a lot of fun to open. I mean, I love Bang Dream. I can't wait for a D4 DJ, and I can imagine the experience that you had with this set is probably amazing. Look at this. Just because I was on these bikini type cards, let's just click on this one real quick. And when I looked, I don't think, yeah, see, really nice, all fun. And we got some shaved ice there, so there we go. That's it. That's summertime. I'm going to end right there. Anyways, if you're going to be opening Toy Story, I haven't gotten mine remotely yet. I'm still waiting on like the shipping on it. If you're opening Idolmaster, if you're opening Toy Story or anything else, again, good luck. Have a happy Friday. As always, have fun. Be happy. And don't spend anything outside of your budget. Have a good day, everybody.